We are on number 14, rolling along in our Essential Elements book. Before we get started, if you haven't written in the notes yet for this exercise, go ahead and pause the video and then write in the notes. Now that you have the notes written in, we are going to start playing Rolling Along. So Rolling Along is Mary Had a Little Lamb, but of course, why would they title it Mary Had a Little Lamb? That would be too easy, right? So we're going to start with E, D, C, D, E, E, E. Those are the first two measures. Remember that E, we're from Maryland, so we love our pinchers. We love our crab pinchers. So E is your first finger and your thumb on the back. D is 1, 2, and thumb, and C is 1, 2, 3, and thumb, okay? Remember that your left hand is on the top, your right hand is on the bottom. You're going to see, when you watch this video, it looks like my right hand is on top, but it's because it's a mirror image, which means you are looking at the opposite of what I'm doing right now, if that kind of makes sense. So E, D, and C are the three notes that we're using for this song. So let's go ahead and slowly try to play the first two measures of Rolling Along. 1, 2, ready, go. And then right after those three E's in the second measure, we have a quarter rest. How many beats does a quarter rest get? That's right, a quarter rest gets one whole beat, okay? If you're like Miss Moody, I am squeaking, or my clarinet's not sounding like it's supposed to be, there's two things that I want you to look at or think about. Is your mouth like it's supposed to be, okay? So is your bottom lip over your bottom teeth, not like that, okay? We're not trying to look like that really old woman from SpongeBob, just a little bit over your teeth. Your top teeth should be on the top of the mouthpiece, okay? And you should be blowing air between the reed and the mouthpiece. Make sure that your reed is on the clarinet like it's supposed to be. It's not too far up, not too far down, okay? Also make sure that when you're blowing through it, nothing about your mouth changes, okay? So your lip doesn't actually slip. And if you're squeaking, your teeth might be touching the reed, which is a huge no, okay? The second thing I want you to check, are your fingers completely covering the holes? If they're not completely covering the holes, you're probably going to squeak. Actually, you will squeak if your fingers aren't covering the holes. So check your mouth, check your fingers. All right, let's do those two measures one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. Now we're going to do the next two measures. So you see we have D, 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 rest, E, G, G, okay? The tricky thing about E to G is that you're going to have to go from 1 in the back to no fingers at all, okay? When you go from E to G, I don't want your hand going all the way over here, okay? Your hand should stay kind of like right here, right next to the clarinet. Just don't press down the keys anymore, okay? You'll notice that when I play, I don't reach my hand super far out. I keep it close to the keys because when we start playing the next measure, we need to make sure our hand is set up and ready to go for that, okay? So let's play measures 3 and 4, D, 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 E, G, G, all right? 1, 2, together, and go. Rest. Rest. All right. I think that's pretty simple. If you need to pause the video and practice anything that we practiced so far at your own pace, go ahead and pause the video. But we are going to put measures 1 through 4 together, okay? So starting at measure 1, we're going to go all the way to the end of 4 where we just left off. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. 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 Oh, and you know, I just realized I went on because I was so excited about playing Mary Had a Little Lamb that I didn't even think about stopping, okay? So I apologize, my bad for that. Well, to be fair, the next two measures, the first two measures of the second line, so measures 5 and 6, are exactly like measures 1 and 2. So we can go ahead and play that together, just measures 5 and 6. 1, 2, 5 and 6, ready, go. All right, now let's go ahead and look at the last two measures of the song. We have E, D, or D, D, E, D, C. My bad, I'm messing up the first time, but it's D, D, E, D, C, last two measures. Let's go ahead and try to play it. Remember, D is 1, 2, and thumb. 1, 2, ready, go. And then that's the end of the song, right? So where it says at the end double bar with that little yellow triangle, if we were to repeat, it would be a double bar, but it'd have two little dots, okay? We remember what a repeat sign looks like from when we've played some previous exercises. But the double bar means that you don't repeat, you stop the song right then and there, okay? So I think that we can go through this whole song 2 times, not back to back, but I think that we can go through this whole song because we have done a pretty good job so far. What do you think? Yeah, I hope you said yes because I think you're ready. All right, let's start from the beginning and we will go to the end. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. 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 Rest, 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 and we're done. Okay. Now I want you to think of 2 things that you can improve on. Maybe it's making sure to keep your bottom lip covering your bottom teeth. Maybe it's making sure to cover the holes all the way, or maybe it's playing certain notes on the page, okay? Or maybe it's resting. I want you to think about 2 things that you could improve on, and the next time that we play this song, which is going to be very, very soon, I want you to try to improve on those things and get better at those 2 things that you just thought about, okay? Let's go ahead and play it the second time, and you try to get better at those 2 things, okay? Cool. 1, 2, beginning, and go. Rest. 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 Rest, 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 and you're done. All right, if you're like, oh my gosh, I totally improved on those 2 things that I thought about, that's great, that's what I want to happen. If you're like, oh, I'm still struggling with those 2 things that I thought I should get better at, guess what? We're musicians, okay? And you get better with practice. So each time you practice this song, and each time you practice in general, you're gonna get better at things that you didn't think about and better at things that you did think about, okay? So keep practicing. That is number 14. Join me next time for number 15, Rhythm Rap. All right, bye.